Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. I know I am super behind. I have just had a heck of a lot on lately, so I've not been able to keep up with posting on time. I have filmed in time, so I've actually currently got this Plan With Me ready to go. I have the week after's Plan With Me ready to go and the week after that. It's just that I have not had time to actually sit down and do the voiceover, so they're completely edited. I just haven't had a chance to sit and do the voiceover. This particular week that we are planning is, of course, the week after New Year's. I cannot for the life of me, I think it's the 4th of January through to, is it the 10th? I have no idea, because naturally, even though I put the date covers on, I didn't actually put any date dots down, which I have a really bad habit of doing. So when I go back to do my voiceovers, I never actually know what the date is, but it's okay. We'll get through it. So the kit that we are using for this week is a Scribble Prints Co. kit. The kit is actually, I don't think I thought I might have had, oh, I do actually. I was going to say, I think I have the leftovers beside me at the moment. So it is nope, it's not going to tell me. Disregard. But it is one of the mystery subscriptions. I am still subscribed for monthly subscriptions from Scribble Prints Co. Just because I really like her kits. They're really thorough, and there's heaps of functional items to utilize. And I especially love when the kits come the way that this one has, where it's come with the kit and then the added foil. So I didn't have to go looking for foil to pull in. I had a whole variation of foiled items to go with it, including date covers, headers, icons, all of it. So it was really fun. And the thing that I loved most about this kit is that the foil wasn't one of your generic like gold, silver, or rose gold. It is actually, I don't know whether you'd call it a pink or a purple. It's kind of in the middle of both. It's like a pinky purple holographic, beautiful foil. The things that dreams are made of, essentially. So I was super excited to use this kit. I was a little bit worried at first, just because I generally don't like kits that are super dull. And in my opinion, because this is a pastel kit, I would consider that dull. And I know that sometimes when I lay out a, quote, dull kit, unquote, I can be really dissatisfied with how it looks at the end. Ew, my drink is leaking everywhere. So I was a little bit skeptical about how this was going to turn out, but I think when we get to the end and you see the end result, including the foil, including everything, it is absolutely beautiful. Yes, so as I mentioned, it is the 2nd week of January. It is a Scribble Prints Co. mystery, and I don't think I actually bring in anything else functional. In terms of the functional items, don't mind me if you can hear a bit of rattling at the moment. My drink bottle just leaked everywhere and I'm trying to clean it up without making more of a mess, which is always fun. But I didn't bring in any extra functional items. So all that I've used is stuff that's come from the kit. With the exception every now and then of like some character stickers and things like that. But otherwise, for the most part, I have tried to use as much of the kit as possible, because for anyone who has been here a while, you know that I'm really trying to focus on utilizing what I have before I go and buy more, use more, and so on. So I'm just laying out the base at the moment, so nothing exciting. I used the date headers. I did and I contemplated using the date headers that actually came with the kit, like the pastel ones. But I thought that for the sake of the fact that the foil headers came with it and the foil is going to go with it, I thought I'd probably be best to swap out the pastel headers for the foil headers. Firstly, because the more foil, the better. But secondly, because I feared that there would then be too much pastel happening. So I just, I utilized the foil. I did also, when I get towards the end, you guys will see, actually no, you might not see it, I might have cut it out. But I do and ah as to whether or not I actually wanted to put the full box overlays down because I was like, oh, do I have too much foil? If I put the overlay over the top, is it going to be too much? But I did go with it. I put the overlays, well, as many as I had on some of the boxes, and then I've gone ahead and this kit came with some extra little like decorative stars. So I went through and added some stars to some icons to some of the boxes just to add a little bit of foil where there wasn't any. This week, not very much. Actually, no, I was going to say not very much happened, but it kind of did. So before we actually get into the day by day, first and foremost, this was the week that I started to walk. So that is actually the first thing that I go ahead and mark on Monday morning. And that is because, I don't know if I told you this. I think I did. I maybe touched on it last year in one of my plan with me's or in an earlier plan with me. I don't know, because when was the last time I posted a plan with me? I'm that bad. But basically, as per doctor's orders, hubby and I have basically been told to try and get healthier, to try and get fitter, to try and lose some weight. So with myself having the polycystic ovaries, as you guys know, I'm pretty open with you guys. I pretty much sort of tell you guys a lot of what happens in my life. But given that I do have polycystic ovaries, it is basically one of those things that I can really struggle to fall pregnant naturally. So there's generally a lot of intervention needed, medications, that sort of thing. And depending on which symptoms of polycystic ovaries you have, because there are so many, and every single woman can have different symptoms. So my biggest symptom is that I have insulin resistance and I have high levels of testosterone. And generally my hormone imbalances and things like that can be triggered by high stress, which, I mean, it sounds wonderful, right? Because anyone who knows me knows that I'm a stress head. So that's great. So basically my instructions in a nutshell were to try to bring down my stress levels, to reduce and cut out carbs where I can, not completely cut them out, but reduce them to a point that I'm not eating or excessively eating carbohydrates. So like replacing white bread, replacing rice, that sort of thing. I also had to reduce my sugar, and just generally start moving, because I work in a job that sees me sitting at a computer for literally 8 hours a day, and that time is timed. So I can't just walk away from my computer for 10 minutes. Like, it's literally timed to a T. And if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing when the analysts look at the timing, then they call me and go, what the hell are you doing? So it is very, very hard. So I had said to myself that so the fertility specialist, for me to sort of start helping my journey, she had prescribed me metformin. So basically that is a medicine that is used to treat diabetes in most cases, but it is also utilized for people who do have polycystic ovaries to help manage their hormone levels, to help manage their insulin resistance. Some women get really lucky, and that the metformin alone actually enables them to get everything balanced and handled to a point that they can actually fall pregnant naturally, which I'm thinking the fertility specialist is hoping will happen for me. But essentially at our last appointment, that is what I was prescribed. Now, because it is known that this particular medication has a whole bunch of side effects, so it ranges from things of nausea, you can have the poops, you can have headaches, dizziness. She basically said to me, look, when you start, you're going to feel really, really bad for the first couple of weeks. So just FYI, be prepared. So the last appointment we had with her was just before Christmas, in December. So I decided that whilst I would go and get the medication, I wasn't actually going to start the medication until after Christmas, New Year, because I didn't want to be, number one, laying in bed feeling miserable, and not being able to enjoy Christmas and New Year's. And secondly, just because, Christmas is at my house generally, so I'm the one who cooks and cleans and does all of that stuff for Christmas Day. So I didn't want to have to postpone that or cancel that or just feel like shit over what is my favorite time of the year. So I said to myself, week after New Year's, I'm going to get straight onto it. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to start doing everything. So That is why on the Monday you will see that the first thing I mark is starting to walk. That is because I literally got up at 6 a.m. that morning, so I start work at 8:30. I usually roll out of bed anywhere between 7:30 to 8:15, depending on how I'm feeling and depending on how restless my night of sleep was. This particular day I got up at 6 o'clock. I'm gonna hiccup, no. I got up at 6, I put on my shoes, I put on my tights, and I put in my headphones, and I went on a walk. And there's not really too many places to walk where I am that are like interesting or like breathtaking or like hold that level of excitement. So what I did was I did like a local block, but then I walked the block 3 times. So I ended up doing the equivalent of, I think, 3.5 kilometers before I came home and showered and got ready for work. It was actually a really good morning too, because even though I didn't mark it down, I got up so early and I did the exercise, and then I came home, I ate some muesli, I read a book, I put on a load of washing. I don't know if I said showered already, but I showered and then I started work. So even though I did that big walk, I was able to fit so much in my morning, and I was so excited. I was like, wow, I can do this. Like, this is amazing. I'm so productive. That didn't last very long. Let's just say that. So I did it that particular day. But the next day you will see that I didn't do anything because I got headachy and tired. So pretty much for the next, I think it was 2 days, I didn't really do much. But anyway, my routine's changed now, but I'll talk about all of that a little bit later on. Okay, so firstly, I have laid down the sidebar here. So you will see that I laid down like one of those gigantic boxes. So the Fashion Girl box. She's really cute and I really wanted to use her. Not to mention, I didn't really do too much other than like usual stuff. So it was a really nice way to fill up that sidebar. And then as per usual, because I'm continuing it into 2021, I have marked in my social media. So I've got my YouTube and my Instagram stats there, and I just use some little icons from the kit to mark that in. And you don't actually see it, but the little like holographic special box that I use there is to mark that was my first weigh-in. So again, in line with the whole let's get healthy, let's get moving thing, that was my first weigh-in. So you don't see that on camera. Maybe I'll share it later when my weight gets a little bit less. I don't know. But that is where I stop and record my weight or my starting weight. And then beneath that, I put another full box. Moving over to Monday, like I said, the first thing you will see me mark is at the starting to walk. So I used a little shoe icon from Stella Bow Sticker Co. and a box, I don't know what else to call it, a box from the kit to mark that in. Beneath that, I then go ahead and use some deco from the kit to mark, of course, Coffee Monday. I mean, what else am I going to put on Monday if not Coffee Monday? And then, just as per usual, I've gone ahead and down the bottom there, I've marked in my work schedule for the day. As I mentioned, I did a load of washing that day, so I actually did it in the morning, but I was happy to put it like out of order, like it didn't have to be chronological. But I used a little fox and cactus character there to mark that I did a load of towels. I don't always mark when I do washing. Sometimes I put it in there just because I have nothing else to mark. Other times I put it in there because that's what I did that day. So if I don't, like sometimes if I don't put in the mundane tasks that I do during the week, I don't have anything to mark. So I had to mark it. And then underneath that, you will see that I go ahead and I use a little icon from the kit to mark that I played some Animal Crossing with my friend Justin. He's a fellow streamer. And we were playing Animal Crossing for a little while. And then we go ahead and, of course, we do our multi-Monday stream, which is basically where 3 or 4 of us, there's a group of 3 or 4 of us that every single Monday when we stream or when I stream, I actually play co-op with some friends. Moving over to Tuesday, the first thing that I mark in is, of course, work. I then use a little pomegranate pins and prints. I don't know what the character sticker name is, but I used a character sticker to mark that I was headachy and tired. And I really love when I use kits that allow me to use different color palettes. Like this particular icon from Pomegranate Pins and Prints, I wouldn't be able to use a lot because I don't have a lot of purple kits. So it was perfect to be able to bring him in. Not only that, but as a beach theme. So like how appropriate. But I used him to mark in that I was very headachy and tired that day. And you will underneath that see that I did put a little workout icon in, and I did have plans to get up and go for a walk, but then I go ahead and put a cancelled sticker from the kit across that because I didn't actually get up and walk. I actually slept in because I had a headache from like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, nope, not happening. Underneath that, I go and use some deco from the kit to mark that I had a chill out afternoon where I did nothing but listen to some ASMR because I am obsessed with ASMR at the moment. I find that if I'm super stressed or I need to like calm down or I'm angry or if I can't sleep or whatever it is, I find that ASMR is really, really soothing and it really, really helps. And there's one particular girl that I watch, her name is ASMR_Kotya. If you're ever interested in looking her up on Twitch, she does have a YouTube channel as well, but she's amazing. So I watched her, and then underneath that, I use a little book stack icon from the kit to mark that I finished reading one of my books that I actually had started reading way back at the beginning of 2020. So that was an accomplishment in itself. Moving over to Wednesday, the first thing I mark in is, of course, work. Beneath that, I use a little Sheila Sugar sticker to mark that I was headachy still, so it sort of carried over. That afternoon after work, I've used an icon to mark that I had a cup of coffee just to sort of relax and chill and do nothing and unwind. And then I've used a little piece of deco there to mark in that I actually worked on a job application because they opened up a position that I was super interested in at work. So I spent Wednesday evening working on that. And then one of the seniors who is currently in that department offered to help me with the application. So I've underneath that marked with a little icon from the kit that I emailed the application off to her to review. Over to Thursday, again, we have marked work. I have then used a flat lay. I believe this one was from Wednesday Planning, who is no longer open. But I have a stack of them left over. So I used that to mark that I finalized my job application that afternoon and submitted my job application. That afternoon, so after work, after all of that was said and done, I then go ahead and mark in that I did a workout. So to do that, I use a Fox and Cactus like yoga girl sticker, and I layer a workout script over the top of that. And I think that looks really, really cool. And it's actually amazing because I've had these Fox and Cactus stickers for so long and never used them. Now I actually can. So it's great. Not so exciting. After that, I marked in that I had my phone bill due. So that was a big, hefty bill, but I paid it. And then I used a little Sims Plum Bob sticker from Sticker Thief to mark in that I gifted a friend of mine some Sims packs that she was missing. Over to Friday. First thing I go ahead and mark, of course, again, is Monday, because Monday to Friday, we working. I then used a little clock icon to mark that the job application was actually due that day. So disregard. So I started working on Wednesday, sent it for review on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, I finalized it so that I could submit it the following day because the deadline was at 3 p.m. So I was really disappointed because obviously they gave us like a two and a half day deadline to get this application in. So in my head, I already knew, like they already knew who they were going to hire. But I submitted my application anyway, which you will see I use like another little hollow decorative box there and a decorative bow to mark that I submitted my application. But naturally, I didn't get the position because, like I said, short deadline, they already knew who they were going to fill the position with. They just wanted to make it look fair to everyone. So yes, they didn't pick me. And damn shame, because it is the only position currently in my workplace that I would be interested in holding, and it's a 12-month maternity leave position. So very disappointed. I was very upset, but what do you do? That evening I have marked a workout. So I did a dance workout and yoga stretch. So that's what I mean. I didn't keep up with the walking, but what I've started doing is doing some YouTube workouts from home every afternoon after work. So it kind of helps me de-stress after work, and I always make sure that I do a bare minimum 30-minute workout. So that's been working really well for me, although I'm tending to only be able to do 2 or 3. I then go ahead and mark that we had Mad Max for dinner and that we watched Final Destinations 3 and 4. And then on Saturday, I just had a day of waxing. I had my nails and I had some coffee, and I've just marked those with some icons from the kit. I also had a pretzel that day. I've marked in having a nap. We then had Thai for dinner, so I had pad Thai, and then we watched Double Jeopardy, and I've just marked that using an icon from the kit. And then over to Sunday, I've used some deco and a box from the kit as well as a script to mark sleeping in. I used some deco from the kit to mark that I had some coffee, and then I used an icon from the kit to mark that I filmed. And later that day, I played some Animal Crossing. I did mark in a medical appointment that afternoon, but you guys won't see that on camera because it is very personal. But yes, that is this particular spread done and dusted. I almost ran out of time as per usual. I'll get better at it, I promise. But I'm just taking you through what is left from the kit and the foiled add-ons. And then I believe I'm probably just going to give you a quick little wiggle. Hello, Melissa. Do you want to like wiggle, 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 wiggle? Yeah. Yeah, so we do a little bit of a viv wiggle there just to show you guys the beauty of this kit. I'm absolutely stunned with how it turned out. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it here. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content. I love having you guys here. Hopefully this will go up tonight. See ya.